Yo, what's going on, guys? Let's try back again to bring another video. So this time I'm going to be doing a video talking about the Walking Dead figures. So first we're going to review Rick Grimes, and then we will review the Roamer and the Lurker zombies. So before I get into the figure, just a quick look at the packaging here. Nothing crazy. The packaging it looks pretty cool. It's got a few different colors there, and on the back, you've got pictures of all the different characters from The Walking Dead Series 1, Comic Series 1. As you can see, they all come with a lot of accessories, which is really, really cool. One of the things with Mcfarlane toys is that you get a lot of detail, and sometimes you get a lot of accessories, and that's very cool. So we've got Rick Grimes, Michonne, the Roamer, and the Lurker. So let's get into Rick first, and then I'll do reviews on the others afterwards. I figured we should start with Rick. It makes sense that way. So my first impression of these figures right off the bat, I'll say this once because I don't want to say this, a million times, and if I don't mention it right away, I'll catch myself saying it a million times. These figures are really small. They're way smaller than we thought they were going to be. They're way smaller than the prototype pictures looked like they were going to be. They're just super small. The scale is just shrunk down so much. We thought we were getting 6-inch figures like this custom Rick in the back here. This is using a Marvel Legends body, so you can see the height difference between the two. It's just humongous. So this is like a 6-inch scale figure, and this is probably going to be about 4 1/4, 4.5-inch scale roughly. So, that's kind of a disappointment to me. That's kind of a letdown. I do prefer 6-inch scale, and I have, some zombies and some other stuff that I have in 6-inch that I can't use with these figures because they're just so damn small. So that's a big disappointment right off the bat. These figures are kind of the same size as the Halo figures. So if you're down with that, then you're going to like these figures. I'm more accustomed to 6-7-inch scale figures. Although it's not the end of the world that they're not 6 and 7-inch. It's nice to have Walking Dead figures, officially released figures, but they just, I really would have preferred 6-inch scale for these figures. Okay, I won't talk about the scale anymore. That's the only time I'm going to mention it. Overall, though, this figure is really, really nice. He comes with a lot of accessories. He comes with the axe. Comes with a revolver. He's got holders for each. He's got the holder for the axe and the holder for the revolver that does close and everything. Very nice. And he also has a bag with a whole ton of guns, shotguns, and there's another one in there. Just got to pull it out here. Different kinds of shotguns. I'm not a gun expert. I don't know the different, what they're called or anything, but all kinds of different, colors, sizes, shorter, longer. Just a whole bunch of cool different guns and stuff that he comes with. A bag to hold them, which does go over his shoulder. He is a little bit tough to stand because of the legs. He does have some kind of different joints in the legs that, this leg here that I just stretched, it does come out, but the other one doesn't really come out that far, as you can see. It doesn't want to bend out that far. So, you can kind of get him into some okay poses, but it's classic Mcfarlane articulation. It doesn't move like Marvel Legends, it doesn't move like DC Universe Classics. It kind of has its own type of articulation, which is not that great. The legs can go in and out, but like I showed you, not much. And then a single joint here, which is like barely anything. As you can see, that like you can barely move the knee, hardly at all. It does have an ankle swivel, and it kind of has a small rocker pivot, a little bit, not a whole lot. Then, of course, his legs can go back and forth there. No articulation in the torso at all. Articulation in the ball-jointed shoulder, hindered by the jacket a little bit. Elbows got pretty good range of motion, pretty good. Whoop, just lost one of my lights here. And the wrist is, got some pretty good articulation. It's got you can see the joints in there, and it can get a pretty good range of motion out of it. The axe is pretty cool. I like it. It looks good. The head sculpt on him is good, but he kind of looks like he's looking to his left all the time. You see what I mean there? He looks like he's looking over his shoulder all the time. And so no matter where you get him posed, he's always kind of looking like he's looking over his shoulder. So it's kind of hard to get him in poses where he's holding his guns. His shotguns, I was fiddling with it for a little while, and I couldn't get him to hold it with both hands because of the way his shoulders come in. You really can't. It's hard to get him to hold a shotgun with both hands. This hand holds it to there, but then you can't really bend the wrist that much unless you want to snap it, and it won't fit over with the other hand to hold it. So that's kind of a disappointment with the shotguns. These are really only display pieces. Like, you can really only put these in the bag, or unless you want to have them holding a shotgun with one hand like that, which is very unrealistic. I mean, who's going to shoot a shotgun this big with one with one arm? Yeah, I mean, you break your arm. So whatever. I mean, it's all right. It's a nice accessory to have, but I just wish you could hold them with both hands and you could kind of jimmy them to get them working. That happens a lot. You might be able to get it, but the thing is you got to stretch it quite a bit, and don't want to break it, of course, because Mcfarlane figures are very delicate per se. They break a lot more than most other figures from other lines. So overall, the Rick Grimes is a nice figure. The likeness is pretty good to the comic book, I'd say. He does have minor problems. The fact that this leg doesn't really go out very far at all. The fact that he always looks like he's looking over his shoulder like that, to the left, or thinking of something, pondering, thinking. Other than that, it's a nice figure. I'm going to rate it. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10, but because of the scale size and what we expected 6-inch, I'm going to move that down to a 6 out of 10. Just kind of a disappointment, sort of halfway, not a full disappointment, but at least for me anyway, a nice figure overall, but nothing spectacular and nothing great. Hopefully we get a lot of figures in this line. Hopefully it's not just a couple series and then it's done, because one thing I will say is that if they release quite a few zombies and stuff, army building zombies would be a lot of fun. And you can get these guys in some really good poses, like action poses and stuff. Of him, you could have him like axing inside the zombie's head, and the zombie's head does separate. Let me show you. So you could have him doing like that kind of stuff. I'd have to play with it for a bit, but you get the idea. Or shotgun blowing his head off, all that kind of different stuff. Anyway, so that's my review of the Rick Grimes figure, guys. I'll continue with the Michonne and the zombies in a bit. See ya.